Hey, Wellness Crew, and welcome to another session of Yoga with Jenna. I believe this is session 16. So the playlist is really starting to pop. You can definitely check it out. All of my yoga videos are on the playlist Yoga with Jenna. Now, allergies are killing me as usual. And I am also filming at a little before 6 a.m., which is earlier than I normally film. Have my crystals and my candle. But I just need to do a little bit of mobility on my lower back. Or mid back, I should say. Oh. And of course, hitting my calves because they're always tight. It's also chilly, so I'm just wanting to take extra precautions. My feet have blisters on them because I went for a walk yesterday in another pair of shoes. So this is the third pair of shoes, and this time, while I didn't get anything on the back of my ankle, I got blisters on my heel right here. Got one right here as well. I don't know why my body doesn't want to walk. uh, Found a knot. But won't be able to take it out right now. All right. So yay! We get to break in the yoga mats. Awesome. I'm going to test something out and basically try to do the yoga mats, just having them together, seeing if they will stay if I do movements where my hands and my feet are on different mats. So we're going to find out. But we're going to start with sun salutations. So we're going to raise our hands above our head, breathe in, and exhale into swan dive and forward fold. Walking our hands forward into plank. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Tuck our toes underneath for downward dog. Stepping one foot forward, the other one meets it. And we're gonna slowly roll up. The only reason I didn't is because I thought I was having a wardrobe malfunction. Okay. My bad. All right, breathe in. And swan dive into forward fold. Exhale. Walking our hands forward into plank. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath. Going into downward dog. Take one step forward, the other foot meets it, and we're going to slowly roll up. All right. So just the teal one is getting a little loose. But other than that, this is working so far. Yay! Okay. So breathing in. And swan diving into forward fold. Exhale. Walking our hands forward into plank. And chaturanga. Upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath and going into downward dog. Stepping one foot forward, the other one is going to meet it. Forward fold. And slowly rolling up. All right, so we're going to try to get warm quick. So we're going to get into a sumo squat position. And what we're going to do is we're going to come down into a squat and then come back up, okay? To move with your breath. Two more. And very good. We're going to do some of those really big arm circles going forward, or you can do small ones. If you want to just feel more comfortable doing something like this, that's fine. I'm just trying to get warm. It is freaking cold right now. But it's also really good to be nice and warm before you stretch. And reversing. Very good. Okay, from here we're going to go into chair pose. I'm going to actually have my feet a little bit apart. So coming up from behind, squatting down, having our arms straight in front of us, and repeating. Flow with your breath. Three more. All right, very good. Now what we're going to do is lunges. So you can just step your foot forward, Find a spot where your foot is completely grounded to the mat. You're on the ball of your foot on your back foot, and you can do one of two things. You can step it back if you would like, or from here, you can step forward and then just step back to the opposite side. All right, and now we're going to add the arm raise. All right, one more on each side. All right, awesome. All right, we're going to come onto our hands and knees for cat-cow. So remember, as we inhale, we're going to lift our heads and our bottoms. And as we exhale, we're going to arch our backs, let the top of our head be in line with the mat, and move with your breath. Two more. All right, from here we're going to go into plank. We're going to kiss the mat with our knees, and then we're going to go back into downward dog. We got two more. Then coming into plank and bringing the opposite knee to the opposite elbow. From there, we're going to come and sit back into a child's pose. And coming back up to tabletop. Hold on, let me just correct this before. Okay, there we go. Okay, so coming back to tabletop and then getting into plank. Same thing, we're going to kiss our knees to the mat and then go into downward dog. Two more. Coming back into plank, we're going to bring our knees towards our opposite elbow. Opening up our knees, letting our bottoms come onto our heels, extending our arms forward into child's pose. Coming to tabletop, returning to plank, and again, we're going to go ahead and kiss our knees to our mats, and then go into downward dog. 2 more. All right, coming back into plank and then bringing the opposite knee close to the opposite elbow. And opening up those knees and coming back into child's pose. All right, from here we're going to come onto our bottoms. We're going to lay back and we're going to do a bridge flow. So basically you're going to look like you're humping the air. So we're going to be coming up, really squeezing our glutes, hips up high, and coming back down. All right, from here, we're going to go ahead and bring our hands behind us with our fingers facing our bodies. And we're going to do a tabletop flow. A reverse tabletop flow. Coming up and come back down. All right, going ahead and extending our feet, lifting our arms up nice and high, and coming over for our straight leg seated forward fold. Very good. You can slowly roll up. And we're going to get Let me just make sure my mic, okay, good, my mic is still good. We're going to go back into bridge with our feet flat on the floor, our palms flat on the floor, and us lifting our butts, our hips, our backs even up off the ground. Two more. All right, awesome. Sitting up, having our fingers facing our bodies. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop flow. Two more. All right, awesome. Extending our feet forward, raising our hands up overhead, and folding forward over our straight legs. All right, awesome. Now, last time, we're going to do our bridge flow. So as we lift up, we are exhaling. As our butt touches the ground again, we are inhaling, okay? Two more. All right, very good. Coming to a seated position with our hands behind us and our fingers facing our bodies, our feet nice and flat on the floor, so we can do our tabletop flow. now we're going to go ahead and extend our feet, raise our arms up overhead, and come into the straight leg seated forward fold. And slowly rolling up. All right. Just taking a moment to acknowledge the work that we have already done. Nice deep breaths. All right. So we're going to aim to have our forearm reach the side. We're going to reach over, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. We're just moving side to side. All right, from there, we're going to come into a dolphin flow. So almost like starting with a modified plank, as if you were doing your plank on your forearms, and then we're going to come back into dolphin. Awesome. Now coming to that seated position. So we can go back to our side to side. The hair struggle is so real right now. Like, I put pins and stuff just so I could keep my hair away from the microphone. Oh my goodness. Anyways, nothing to complain about, just silliness. All right, awesome. Now we're going to come into our dolphin flow. So starting in plank on our forearms. From here, back into dolphin. Three more. All right, awesome. Now coming into that seated position for the last time for this reason at least, and doing our seated side bends. All right, awesome. Close one. Okay, so back to our dolphin flow. So starting in plank on our forearms, it helps me when I have my hands together. So that's just me. All right, very, very good. So I also wanted to make a little correction because I misnamed a pose yet again. So just to show you real quick, this is warrior one. This, hopefully my arms are straight, is warrior two. But this is reverse warrior. So it's not warrior three. Let me go ahead and do it on the other side as well, just for symmetry. So again, warrior one, warrior two, do the scoop, come back, reverse warrior. So what is warrior three? It's kind of similar to airplane, which we will be doing airplane today, or attempting it, because we are now in the spot where we are going to do balance positions. So we're just going to start off with like a balancing warm up. We're going to have our arms extended, reaching really far as we possibly can, bringing our shoulders down nice and back. Choose whichever leg you want to start with and lift up one of your legs. Bring it to 90 degrees in front of you. And I just want you to hold for as long as you can. As soon as you, if you lose your balance, totally okay. Just come back into it. And we're going to switch sides a few times. All right, other side. And oftentimes you're going to find that, one side is maybe more stable than the other. Or you'll notice that when you're looking for something to ground you, right? So looking at a specific point of an object right in front of you to help kind of keep you centered. It might be easier to do it when you're doing one leg versus the other, which I know sounds so silly, but it's so true. All right, and then slowly turning our palms up. Ah, I lost it. All right, and then switching legs. All right, very good. Let's go into tree. So with tree, you can have your foot close to like around your ankle. You can have it on your calf, or you can even have it on your upper thigh. Just do not have it on your knees. And you can have your hands in a prayer position, or for full tree, you're going to extend your arms kind of rounded and up, right? Just like a tree. I can see my breath. That's how cold it is. Oh my God. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. It's April too. That's weird for Texas. And releasing our hands down, releasing that leg, and then finding the spot that works best for us, for our foot placement. All right, very good. Now from here, I'm going to give you the super easy option of you can just bring your heel to or toward your butt. But, oh my gosh. Now I'm out of balance. And then just holding it there. Or you can try to do a little bit more of an extension. Ah! And relax. All right, going to the other side. Again, it's just finding your balance, finding your footing on your mat. You can bring your heel to your butt, or you can try to extend your arm, lengthen your leg a bit while still holding onto your foot with your hand. All right. Come on, Jenna. Come on. Get your shit together, girl. All right. Awesome. And airplane. Well, actually, before we do airplane, let's do one more. So the modified version is just going to be you standing, holding your knee close to your chest, okay? And then anybody that wants to can try to do an extension. Very good. And same thing, you can do the modified version. Wow. Simply remember to ground your foot into your mat first, honestly. I always forget to do that sometimes. So having that knee close to your chest, nice and high up. Or If you can, extending your legs straight while holding on to your foot. Slipping. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, so airplane. Airplane, what you're going to do is you're going to have your palms facing forward. Decide which leg you want to hold your weight. And then you're going to come forward and try to hold it. I am having a time with this one. I haven't done it in a long time though, so forgive me. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. Edit it out. No, I'm just kidding. I already have to do too many edits on my meditation video. But every time you fall or stumble or get out of the pose, just come back to it. If this is something you don't feel comfortable doing, again, always feel free to go into child's pose or go into a recovery type of position where you're laying on your stomach and you have your hands on your forehead. All right, so our palms nice and forward facing, and then extending. Whew. Heard some music, thought it was my alarm, and I got so scared. All right. So, if I remember correctly what Warrior 3 is, I think it's this one. So, where your hands are nice and straight, your arms are nice and straight, you're all in alignment and in balance. So, my bad. I meant reverse warrior. My bad, my bad. All right, so let's get into some stretching. We're going to start. Ow! That hurts my heel. I'm telling you, something about walking. I don't know. All right, so we're going to straddle as wide as we can. If that means you can't come forward and you just have to be seated like this, that is totally fine, okay? You're still getting that stretch. All right, from here, we're going to go into pigeon. So aiming for 90 degrees with our, like from our knee to our ankle ideally, but if you can't do that, don't worry. And you can start in a modified, or not a modified, but a more supportive position by having your hands nice and up. You can come down to your forearms if possible. You can even extend your arms forward and get a nice stretch that way as well. And coming back up. Let me actually try it the mega yoga mat way. And switching sides. All right. Now we can get out of pigeon. I think mega yoga mat worked out actually pretty well. Just saying. Okay, so what we're gonna do is come onto our stomachs, okay? We're going to wrap our arms in front of us. So just remember whichever arm you have in front of you right now, you can have your elbows super bent, or you can have more of a straight arm. You can rest your chin on, the upper arm. And I forget what this is called, but it's a really, really good one, especially when you're doing long holds, like, 3 to 5 minutes. I felt so much better after doing this for 5 minutes on each side. It was amazing. And just relaxing into these poses when we come into like stretching and mobility type stuff. just really using your breath. And it's not so much about trying to go as deep as you possibly can. It's just that with practice, you'll get better. Just like with the balance stuff, you know. There's some poses I'm good at because I like to do them and I do them often. There's other poses that are still, you know, ones that aren't my go-tos. All right, we're going to switch. And that's totally okay. You know, we're all going to have certain weaknesses and certain things. But the point is, over time, even already, I've seen improvement in my own flexibility, my mobility, and all of that. Now, that's also because, you know, I do other stuff as well. If I did like a full routine, it would be like over 2 hours. So it would just, yeah, it would not be a whole thing with all the stuff that I do and all the mobility that I try to do. All right. And last one before Shavasana, what we're going to do is interlace our hands, bring our shoulders back and down underneath us, and kind of go into that bridge pose. We're going to hold it up. And very good. Awesome. All right, we're at Shavasana. So this is where I'm going to take my crystals and place them on me. Okay, good. My mic's still on. And these crystals in particular are meant for healing. So, you know, I just imagine channeling all of my, if there is any negative emotions or if there is any negative energy, that it kind of be channeled and filtered through these crystals, since they are healing. And I attribute them to also healing, or to continue to heal my energy. The great thing about meditating and yoga and the other stuff that I do is that it really raises your frequency of your energy. It really gets you in tune with your, with like the overall like your overall and complete energy. So both the masculine and the feminine. I also like to use them for pain. With lupus, it can be a very painful autoimmune disease to have. So I like to choose stuff that is for healing, healing of whatever. And sometimes even when we're just, visualizing being healed and visualizing things, that is going to work wonders for your brain, for your practice, even. I mean, for your life in general. The ability to visualize and see yourself accomplishing goals, or to see yourself, in your dream life, dream scenario. The more that you can do things like that and visualize and see it, the more likely it's going to become a reality, because you're putting energy and your focus into it, and obviously time. So just with time and energy, that is 2 of your 3 main resources. We know that the third one is money. But time and energy are equally important, if not more important. All right. So if you want to stay in Shavasana for a little bit longer, by all means, feel free to do that. I am having such a major... Woo! Woo! There we go. Sorry, it's just like, oh my gosh, when you're having like a wardrobe thing and you're still trying to push through it. Well, anyways, thank you so much for joining me for Yoga with Jenna session 16. Again, please don't forget to like, to subscribe and or follow. And please, when you do watch my videos, if you can't watch them to completion, I understand. But if you could please watch as much of the video as you can, I would appreciate it greatly. So good job today, wellness crew. I think we kicked some ass for sure. And I will definitely see you on the next video. So be well, but stay wild.